Hey everybody, I'm back. I don't have to be at work till 11, so I have a little bit of time to do a video and everything. So today we're going to be talking about authors that literally, well, one author in particular that really gets my goat and why I have made a vow to never be that person. As an author and as somebody that gets really sick and tired of excuses for why a book that I have been waiting on for 8 years or 10 years or 20 years is still being written or may never come out. So one of the huge reasons I think why Martin, and that's the person we're talking about mainly, is going to never admit that he is never going to finish Game of Thrones is that he does not want to receive the backlash of hate from his fans because they were expecting something and they're not going to get it. And it does happen. You do have people that will literally be the epicenter of just anger when they find that they will never find out the ending of a book. And some authors, they decide, well, as you get more up there and up there and up there in age, okay, do I have the faculties to continue to write this book series, or do I need to stop it here and all that? So, generally, when we talk about authors like Elizabeth Peters, who passed away over 10 years ago, her final book, which was book 20, which was The Painted Queen, ended. And it was written in a way where you knew that you were not going to get any more of these books. And then they also said, oh, this is the final installment to the series. So we already knew we weren't going to get any more Elizabeth Peters books. So when we talk about Martin, we talk about a man that has gotten so big, that he thinks that people are going to wait around for the next 15, 20 years for this book. And I hate to burst this bubble, but they're not. They are not going to do that. They're going to leave you. And then you're going to finally publish your book. And you're not going to have people buying it because they've either died or they have moved on to other things. And that's the thing authors need to understand. This is the big issue that I have with like authors that are part of like big name publishing houses, is they go and they invest all this time and money into promoting this book series, and the series goes big, and then they decide, well, I'm going to take my dear old sweet time, to heck with it, because I know that my publishing house will ramp up the hype and all that. Not even getting it that you may not have a fan base to rely on. So one of the things that I have made it a point to do is to write down a certain number of books. So generally they're just like book 3, book 4, book 5. They don't have titles to them. Those come later in the process of the series going on and on. And so, like for instance, is next year I'm hoping to publish 2 Book Nook mysteries, and that is Murder on the Menu and A Cookbook's Guide to Murder. Those are books 2 and book 3, and my hope is to get book 2. Well, I know book 2 is going to come out, but definitely book 3. So that's what I'm hoping to be able to do. And so, even if I just upload like the Kindle edition, at least people are like, oh yeah, that book's coming out on that date. And then you have another author that has riled up people, not as big as Martin, but it has a certain number, and that is Madeline Alt. Madeline Alt was constantly bringing out a book a year, and then all of a sudden, after book 7, we haven't gotten a new book. Well, we finally got a thing from Amazon stating that book 8 is going to be coming out on the 29th of next year on December. December 31st, not December 29th. December 31st of next year. The big thing is, will she have a fan base that she will be able to sell the book? I don't know what was going on with her in her life, and if it's something that affected her really big. I hope that she is better and she can move on. But she is in a publishing house. I am not, thank God. So it's really like annoying when you have an author that does not publish books the way that they used to. But if it's a legitimate reason why, or something that I myself can definitely say I've gone through, then yeah, I'm a lot more understanding. But if it's just, oh, well, I'm a big name author and all this stuff, and I know that people are going to buy my book because because of who I am, and no matter how long they've been waiting for this book, I'm sorry to say, but people ain't going to buy it. Now, you might have people that will literally, it's their drug and they're having it, so yes, they're going to buy it. But I don't really see that being something that is going to happen with this book when it does ever come out. If he dies before the book is released, then his family may decide to just publish the book as is and say, okay, look, let's just hurry up and type up an ending and get it published so that at least fans will get the ending. And the ending will probably be crap. But people are not going to care. People are going to be like, okay, finally he died, finally this book's been published, even though the man is dead. But yeah, so one of the things that I definitely have made a point in my Book Nook series is there definitely is going to be an ending to the series. And I don't know what that ending is going to be, but I do know there's going to be an ending. And I'm looking at least 30 books. At least 30 books. But that may not happen. I may only write 11. I don't know. But my goal is 30. Now, my steampunk series definitely has a definitive number of books, and that's 11 books. So I will be writing for I may write 2 steampunk books a year. I may write 1. I don't know, depending on where I'm going. My bed and breakfast, I already know how many books are going to be in that series. My swinging 50s, I don't know. And I'm not going to give a number out. But I also understand that as a writer, I am obligated to at least write, as far as my steampunk series is concerned, write those 11 books and not make fans wait 10, 15, 20 years. I don't have 30, 40 years. Now, take it back. I may live to be 100. I don't know. But I don't know what the future is going to be. So I definitely am like, well, if I see that I'm reaching the point where I cannot write anymore, then whatever book I'm on is going to be the final book. And that is just to ensure the fans are not left disappointed and wondering what the heck I'm doing. It's always important when you are writing a book, and this is my issue with I'll go my issue with big chunker books in a moment, but when you're an author and you go into writing, no matter if it's indie, no matter if it's traditional, you have to have a definitive vision of how many books are going to be in your series. J.K. Rowling was able to do it with apparently no problem. Elizabeth Peters was able to probably do it with little to no problem. When you have an author that cannot do these books and makes fans wait 10 years, but I'm releasing this little bitty book and this little bitty book and this kind of thick book, but you're not releasing the main book, people get pissed off. And yeah, so these authors that write these big chunker books, like The Priority of the Orange Tree, that's a big chunker of a book. The only thing that I really did not like about that book was it was too thick. Why in the world do you need to write basically an automobile manual or a GD size book? Why in the world can't you just release a simple, a decent sized book? Why does it have to be 800 pages? But yeah, it's annoying. And what it also does is it also puts a lot more stress on an author, because they now have to produce a book that is that thick all the time. And people are accustomed to that big chunker of a book. I personally will never write that kind of book. The minimum I'm going to go is 300 pages. That is the not minimum, the maximum that I will go is 300 pages. My book Death at the PTA is like 250 some or 230 some pages. I don't remember. But I got that done within a month, maybe 2 months, and that is because I wasn't on talk shows and I wasn't at comic book conventions. I was sitting in front of my computer typing away, and I was able to do it. It is basically like you're an author, and you can say, hey, look, as much as I would love to come to your convention, I would love to meet my fans, you guys want this book. I need to sit down, I need to focus my entire being on this book. And people will understand, because if you've been waiting years for a book and an author says, hey, look, I'm almost done with this book, I really need to get this finished, they're going to understand. But Martin doesn't do that. He goes goes here and there and there and here, and he's not on the book. This is why that's probably why you're not getting the book, is because he feels like he has to be with his fans. And I don't know if it's because he truly appreciates his fans, or he's just being a narcissist. But it's annoying. It is. I am not doing those things. I come home from work, I sit down and I type up a chapter, or I read over what I've already written and say, okay, this is where I need to take the book. And I say, well, hey, look, I'm going to release this bed and breakfast mystery in December, so you'll get the book in December. And as soon as the book is done, I'm going to upload the at least the Kindle edition of the book, so that way you guys, oh yeah, okay, yeah. And then I'll say, hey guys, I'm going to be waiting and waiting and waiting until it's time to upload the physical, the manuscript that will go in the physical edition of the book. But at least when I upload the Kindle edition of the book, at least you know, okay, this is when it's coming out. This author is giving us new content. But they all know that it's going to be a while before you get the physical one, because I have to wait until Amazon will accept the manuscript for the physical edition of the Kindle edition that I just uploaded. So yeah, and that's going to be in September. That will be in September. But I'm always working on it. Either like I'm done with that chapter and then I work on a steampunk book, or I read my book, or whatever. But anyways, so that is my video. And just a piece of advice: if you are if you're going to publish a book and you're going to be doing it as a series, always make sure that you understand that if you do get a fan base for your book, that they're going to expect the next book to come out when you're going to say it's going to come out, because if you don't, you're not going to have a fan base when that book finally gets published. Alright, so I will see you guys around. Bye.